What's going on, everyone? Today was really turbulent up and down. So in today's video, we're going to talk about how an apple a day keeps the doctors away. So literally in the Discord server today, the free Discord server where I'm sharing all of my trades completely for free. Every single win was Apple. Apple plus 40%, plus 53%, plus 20%, plus 22%, and plus 43%. Any of the losses that we have for day trades, or any trades in general, 10% loss, automatically we cut our losses. And today was a really good day overall. If you guys are interested in joining, the link is in the channel description. It's going to be in the comment below. A lot of people made a lot of money today as well. It was pretty fun. It was a pretty good day. But then towards the end of the day, it got really choppy. And we just stayed patient for the rest of the day. I'm not holding any swings overnight, but the smarter thing for the market would be a little bit more of a dip. But it's tough to say because this market has been so strong. So in today's video, I'm going to go in detail about all that stuff. I'm going to talk about the SPY, the IWM, the NASDAQ, the 30-year bond that's been sort of irrelevant, the large tech stocks, and the crypto market. All right, so without further ado, let's get started with the video. All right, so this is the VIX. You can see that the VIX is basically bottoming out. And this measures the volatility in the S&P 500. But you can see the lower level of the Bollinger Band is really puking. You can see this MACD is moving upwards pretty heavily, while the VIX is not really moving upwards as much. And the RSI is moving upwards pretty sensitively as well. So this is a really bearish sign for the VIX. But we are holding this 2250 support area for the VIX currently. And basically, if the VIX ends up falling, that's going to be very bullish for the SPY. But essentially, we're teetering on the brink of destruction. If this level basically breaks, then the SPY is going to continue on higher. But again, we need to keep in mind that the VIX did close 2 days outside of the B band. So it is generally a good time for a market pullback, which means a VIX spike to the upside. But we have to see if that happens. So now, looking back on the SPY here, we can see that it made sense that we basically, did not be able to completely break above this level here. And we're having a bit of a pullback. So the healthiest thing for the market would be, in my opinion, is if we come back and touch this 443.38 level, which basically we closed like on our lows, and we need to see if we can touch that tomorrow. But then even better would be a retest of this 441.50 level, in my opinion. Come back down to this level essentially right here, consolidate a bit, and then move on higher. But again, this bearish setup at the close could just be a massive bear trap and rally back upwards. So, I mean, we have to be aware of that. And of course, at the moment, swing trading is a bit more like at these tops here when things can be very choppy every single day. It's way more riskier to hold any swings overnight, in my opinion. So we're just going to focus on day trading intraday. But right now, it does make sense if the market should fall. So I'm leaning bearish overnight, to be honest. So anyone that's holding puts, there's your bias. So currently, yes, there's the levels for the SPY. I do think that we should fall back down. And then the levels for today or tomorrow for the resistance are going to be today's highs. And then a retest of this trend line for tomorrow would be around 449. So if the SPY can break and close above 449 tomorrow, that, in my opinion, is going to be very bullish. But yeah, we need to see. It would be a healthy thing for the market to consolidate and come back down. That's basically it. So there is that for the SPY. Let's take a look at the IWM. The IWM has the right idea. It's starting to fall already. It's holding this level of support at 203.50. And again, like this still looks like it should come back and fall a bit lower to at least 202.50 or 201.50. That would be a much better buying opportunity for everyone in the market. And essentially, that could be a good, continuation to the upside, a nice little place for that to happen. in the indicators in terms of the SPY and the IWM, the yellow MACD lines are both moving upwards, and the blue MACD lines are starting to cool down a bit, which is a bullish sign. But essentially, this 202.50 level is going to be very, very important for tomorrow on the IWM. If that breaks, then we're going to be back into super bearish intraday territory, and I think things get really, really bad. But again, I mean, it's overall, like, this strength is just very, very strong. This strength felt very, 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 very strong in the past few days in the market. So it's really, really tough for me to think that we're going to see new lows anytime soon. But I mean, if it happens, then it happens. But, you know, very short term, maybe in the next day or two, I feel like we'll have a pullback. But overall, I mean, I feel like this continues on upwards. But, you know, we trade this day to day. And we keep our biases to the side, and we have strict stop losses. And of course, none of us are perfect. So we're always ready to learn. And yeah, there's that. So, I mean, essentially, there's that for the IWM, the SPY. Not really much else to talk about. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the large tech stocks, the 30-year bond, and the NASDAQ. All right, Apple was the GOAT for today. We made a lot of money on Apple today, so that was really, really good. So clearly Apple looks very, very bullish. We closed above this 168.34 level, closed above 170 as well. And in general, the upper level of the Bollinger Band is still moving upwards as well. So Apple looks bullish. All right. Microsoft doesn't look as bullish. It held the 50 simple moving average. Oh, sorry. It held the 50 simple moving average. It held this 297.97 level. Not the most bullish close, not compared to Apple. All right, so Microsoft clearly looks a bit weaker. Amazon also not the most bullish setup on Amazon. But this is a nice little consolidation. Obviously, we need a bit of a cool down. Having a cool down again is completely normal after a huge run up like we did have in the past week. Let's take a look at Google. Google also held this 200 simple moving average really, really well. And a bit of a consolidation. So again, this is completely normal also. And Tesla obviously needed to have a bit of a consolidation because, you know, it didn't really skyrocket and close too high. It had a high move upwards, but then again, like, you can see that it's closed 2 days in a row outside of the upper level of the Bollinger Band. So it's a good sign that we're still, you know, maintaining this price. So if we can essentially like hold these levels, it would be pretty good for a continuation upwards. Again, it really all depends on how the SPY and the NASDAQ are going to be doing in the coming days. But overall, Tesla looks pretty overextended. So, you know, just be careful on Tesla. But this extreme strength is not to be messed with, in my opinion. I'd rather buy into dips than trying to short extreme strength sometimes, you know? So I think this is one of those times, in my opinion. I could be completely wrong, though, and go short and make a lot of money. But I'm not going to be partaking. So there's that for Tesla. Overall, the large tech stocks are showing a lot of strength, consolidation, and, you know, pretty good. The healthy movement. We still need a bit of a downside, in my opinion, but overall, decent movement. The bonds held 148, and they're now above 150 again. I mean, there's not really much else to say on the bonds. Let's go ahead and take a look at the NASDAQ. All right, so this is sort of where the fun begins. So the equities market across the board all closed bearishly, right? Clearly, it looks like we should have a retest back down to 350.33, which is perfectly coinciding with the 50 simple moving average. We could even have a dip down below to 347, which would be completely normal because you can still see the MACDs on all three are still very, very overextended. So if we do have a dip to that level. If we break down below 347 on the NASDAQ, then in my opinion, we're going to come back and retest this trend line. So that would basically bring us back down to 342 to 343. So if that 347, if this 347.50 level breaks, 347.38 level breaks, then we're definitely going to come back with strength, in my opinion. We're gonna fall heavily to 342 to 343 on the NASDAQ, in my opinion. But of course, again, something about these past few days just really like, it's throwing me off at how strong this is. We're not even necessarily need to fall that low. This doesn't even necessarily need to be a clean retest to any levels of support. This could just be a rally where every single small red day is a buying opportunity. And tomorrow, it would be completely out of the normal, but we could easily end up just opening green and having a really green day tomorrow and completely throwing everyone off. So we have to be ready for these sorts of days. But overall, just looking at the charts, the market is closing bearishly, right? So, those are the levels for the downside. The upside resistance levels on the NASDAQ are going to be 355.53, and then this very important resistance here at 358. Aside from that, there's that for the entire stock market. Let's go ahead and take a look at the crypto market, which I think is going to give... All right, let's take a look at it. All right, so currently, here's the issue. The entire crypto market. So first of all, Ethereum and the altcoins essentially are showing a lot of strength. And the altcoins and Ethereum, right, when they're doing well, Bitcoin ends up, stagnating a bit. And then all of the money gets taken out of this and goes into Bitcoin, and then Bitcoin starts doing really well. And then Ethereum and the altcoins start to stagnate. So that's basically how they've been moving upwards now for the past few days. So that is a very, very bullish sign for the crypto market. And if the crypto market is doing really, really well, then that means that the entire stock market is also going to be doing really, really well. So it looks like that is currently the case. The crypto market at the close looked bullish. Ethereum looked bullish. And now when you take a look at Bitcoin, Bitcoin is still closing above levels of resistance. And, all right, I said that it started to become a bit red. But we're basically holding 42,200. And the fact that Ethereum is still showing strength, that means that Bitcoin can also begin to get that strength overnight and then push forward into the morning. But it really all depends on if Ethereum can continue. But overall, just blankly looking at this, Ethereum looks bullish, and Bitcoin is holding these levels of support pretty well. So aside from that, I mean, you could also look at the MACD. The MACD is basically completely cooled off. It was very, very overextended, right? And what happened? We just basically tightened up here, and now the blue MACD line is much closer to the yellow MACD line than, for example, the SPY, right? The SPY is still very overextended to the upside. But if you look at Bitcoin, Bitcoin is much closer. So that is a sign that there is a lot more room to the upside on Bitcoin. And essentially, like I said, if Bitcoin does well, then the entire stock market does well. So that's really my thesis. That is basically like, things may look bearish in the stock market, maybe for the next day or two, but there's overall, the strength is not to be messed with, in my opinion. And the crypto markets look pretty strong, and Ethereum and the altcoins look strong as well. So there's my analysis. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to comment, like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you.